Oh yeah, and then I always thought with him being Navajo and him being so much into his shamanism, and then me being so interested in the occult and mysticism and everything like that, that we always had a little bit of a spiritual connection in that regard, you know? So,
So what was the concert you saw?
it actually, that's a good question. It was Further Fest. I think it was surviving members of the Grateful Dead because that's the kind of music he's into.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not a
okay.
huge Grateful Dead fan, but
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
check out
not either.
different kinds of music, you know. That's cool.
Yeah. I think the only song I've ever liked by him was Truckin', and that was pretty much it. I honestly don't know the catalog of the Grateful Dead because I just never was a really big fan of them.
The only lyric I really like from the Grateful Dead is "The friend of the devil is a friend of mine." Just because I guess because I like horror movies and somehow or another it
There
sounds
you
like
go.
a horror movie.
Yeah.
But it's the Grateful Dead singing it, so it's kind of cheerful and upbeat.
Well,
But
Christopher Lee made "To the Devil Goes a Daughter," so that
yeah,
always sounded like a really cool title for a song. You
absolutely.
know.
Absolutely. But yeah, I'm very much interested in mysticism, and it's amazing how every culture really has it. Like when I've gone to New Orleans 4 times, I always go to like, mystical voodoo kind of events and stuff. I've gone to Native American events. I've gone to a lot of Buddhist events. I go on like all these haunted tours whenever I travel. I go to all these haunted houses. Like when I went to this wonderful one called Rose Hall in Jamaica when I was there. I travel all around, always checking out the most haunted and spiritual places that I can find. You know?
A friend of mine went on. He got out of the army like about a year ago, and then he went on this journey. And he loves movies, and so he traveled around the U.S. looking for stuff that was inspired into the movies. And he went to a place in Oregon, and it's basically the hotel that the Overlook and The Shining is based off of.
Oh wow,
You
wow.
know, and yeah, he said that was very cool. He also went to like the little town in Washington that was supposed to be in Twin Peaks.
You know what I went to that was pretty random? When I was in California a couple years ago, I went to the old Spanish Mission where they filmed Vertigo by Alfred Hitchcock. So I'm a huge Alfred
Oh,
Hitchcock fan. So I went there, and that was really amazing to go there and walk around in all the buildings and stuff. You know,
up in Northern
my favorite
California, yeah.
British. Yeah.
Say that again.
Oh, Vertigo is my favorite Alfred Hitchcock movie.
My okay, my favorite Alfred Hitchcock movie that's a mystery or horror is Psycho. But my favorite Alfred Hitchcock movie that's not is The Trouble with Harry.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting. All of his films are actually really, really good, though. It's so
Yeah,
hard to pick a favorite, honestly. And then I love Dario Argento so much because I feel like he's almost like the Italian Alfred Hitchcock now, but gorier, because I love how his films just like are such a mystery. Like you don't know really what's going on until the last moment.
I I love Argento's color palette is what I love.
And the music that he sets and the colors, you're right. Right.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
you look at Suspiria and just like the blues and the red just leap into your eyes, and it's just so bright, and you're thinking this has got to be like the happiest movie in the world, but it's not. But it's just the color palette that he sets.
Absolutely. Fantastic. I love him. I've met him a couple times at conventions and he's a great guy. Great guy.
Argento seems like he'd be cool. Yeah, I don't know why, but I always had a thing for The Trouble with Harry. I also love I Confess.
Oh, I confess with the priest. I love that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That has that
yeah,
whole Catholic kind of element. And that's a lot of truth too, that when you're in confession with a priest, what you're allowed to divulge and what you're not allowed to divulge. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I'm
That
sure
was
that
a
actually
cool.
happens to priests.
Oh,
When people
it does, man. more more than enough times. They're going. I really got to hear this again.
Oh yeah, because if you feel like you've committed a sin and you really feel so terrible about it that you have to actually have to go to a priest and discuss it. It's almost like therapy. But you might have something terrible that you've done, like murdering someone, molesting someone, raping someone, hurting someone, stealing something. Who knows?
Yeah.
I would imagine that probably enters a lot of moral conflicts into a priest's mind, listening to all that.
Yeah. Did you ever see the movie Hitchcock?
The movie Hitchcock
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah. The one with Anthony Hopkins playing Hitchcock.
Oh no, I have not. No, no, no. How was that?
I hated it.
Oh, no. Now I
No,
guess it.
and the only reason I hated it is because the person that wrote the movie doesn't seem like he actually spent any time trying to figure out what it was supposed to be about. They never mention the fact that they have a daughter.
Mm.
It's all about the making of the movie Psycho,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh,
and
just
how that
one of his films. That's it. You know.
and how that came about to be. And not once in the movie does Hitch mention his daughter, who's in the film.
Mm. Hmm.
You know, she's one of the secretaries at the very beginning of the film, the one that's always chatting with Janet Leigh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They don't say anything about the fact that he did the black and white cowboy hat trick, but with her bras, and that is when you see Janet Leigh at the beginning of the movie, she's in a white bra, which means she's a good person. And then after she takes the money, she changes into a black bra, which means she's now the bad person.
Yeah. Well, and I usually wear black bras. I don't know what that
You
says.
know,
Hey.
well,
What about my purple bra? I think I'm wearing a purple bra today. What does that say?
I don't know what that says.
What if you decide not to wear a bra?
Then you're very free and very lucky.
Things to think about.
Yeah, but this was all based on the old westerns that the good guys wore the white hats and the black guys wore the bad hats, the black hats.
And it goes from hats to bras when you're a woman, I guess.
And yeah, well, that was his idea. It's like he wanted to show that she went from good to bad, but
Hmm.
they don't even acknowledge any of that, and it was just a poorly written movie.
And you also realize in Alfred Hitchcock movies, usually the main characters are blonde women. The blonde women usually are the ones that have a really good idea of what's going on in the story. You know,
Yeah,
they're very informative. Like if you look at like Rear Window with Grace Kelly, if we look at like
Tippi Hedren.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
uh,
kind of interesting.
yeah, no, it's definitely interesting. Eva Marie Saint.
Hmm. Yeah,
You
exactly
know,
right. Yeah, yeah, Hitchcock a lot of interesting things. And I was just reading something about him, and he was saying that what a director needs to do with a movie is make his audience suffer. And that was always important to Hitchcock because Hitchcock would say, we could have a bomb explode in a movie. That's great. Yeah, we could do that. Or we can tick down for the next 5 minutes and let everybody know we're going to have an explosion in 5 minutes and just build this intensity and this drama.
yeah,
Have everybody chewing
suspense.
their fingernails, and then it's inconsequential whether or not we even have the explosion in the end, but we just have all that buildup, you know.
Yeah, yeah, he was great. I honestly, I love Hitch.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah, he was amazing, and his spy movies, his mysteries, all of them were fantastic. So he
there,
had
another favorite of mine, Lifeboat.
oh yeah, there you go, Lifeboat, yeah,
The,
yeah,
the movie takes place on a lifeboat. I mean, there's really nothing more to it. He found a way to make 90 minutes of people on a lifeboat interesting.
exactly. Wow, and you could do that at a pretty small budget. All you need is like a few good actors, really.
Yeah,
That's what it's all about. It's amazing that you can really get an amazing film with a few actors and a great story. And that's something that, like, in the horror genre, a lot of times you can end up with. Like, I work on these films, and sometimes we have pretty low budgets to work with. But if we have a few strong actors and we have a good story, the sky is really the limit, you know?
the story is everything for me. I've said it many times.